it is August the 31st, and all my plants are a little wilty because of not just the heat, but because a large cow got in again to the greenhouse, and I was super perplexed as to how they got in. Now, here's the funny thing is they eat the weeds. They're eating all of the stuff on the perimeter, and they're squashing my nice zinnias that are in their way. I mean, they brought down all of the sweet peas. I do have to get rid of that anyway, but let me show you my discovery. Oh yeah, see, they have trampled the sunflowers. So the sunflowers look just a little sad, not because of not watering, but because they are getting trampled. So, a little sad. Look at that. They pulled the damn chicken wire out, and they're literally just ducking in. So, either I put the rolls down at night, and I hope that they don't try and break in to the poly, or we fix this, which we will also do because we have goats roaming as well. I don't know if you can see, but I've started bagging the flowers that I want to keep. I want their seeds. Planning for the second greenhouse has commenced. We are hoping to focus a little bit more on perennials. So, a list of some perennials. We have anemone and peony, coneflowers, rosemary and lavender, and feverfew and yarrow, and daisies. So many different kinds of daisies. Now, here on the farm, we have daisies that are all over the place. But I have been looking into this, and it turns out there are many different types of daisies, and I am very excited to get into that, as well as the different types of coneflowers. So the cows have done a bit of damage to the greenhouse, so we're just going to have to fix that. Oh, doggies, it's not really meant for digging. And then in here, we'll be planting berries. So right now, the current search is looking for lingonberry. So my heritage, about a quarter of it is Swedish. And we always had some lingonberry, and it was absolutely delicious. Just the right amount of tartness, kind of like cranberry sauce, but a berry. So like a cross between cranberry and raspberry, I would think. Very nice and tart. So these are the red curry, and these are butternut squash. I think they're called, no, sorry. These are called acorn squash. I think they're called Goldilocks. And when I'm telling you, I have a lot of produce. So I'm just picking the tomatoes that I can rescue. So rescue tomatoes. Just ignore the mess. But like, we're just a little overwhelmed here. To clarify, these cucumbers and this bag of beans is about what I get every other day. Not just like a week's worth of stuff. This is every other day. So my parents have been getting lots of beans, and John has been eating a lot of cucumbers. And the kids seem to like the tomatoes, so that's good. One of the things that I love best about living on this property is watching each season coming and going with familiarity. The leaves have started to turn, and it's a welcome sight. Welcome to what we call the solarium. I think it was the old front porch of our old farmhouse, and the former owners boxed it in or walled it in and then added all these beautiful windows, and it's absolutely lovely in here. It does get quite warm in the summertime, but only in the evening. It is so lovely to have. I can overwinter plants here, so like just ignore the experiment here. So like I've got my chives. I grew these from seed years ago. I need to put them in the garden, but they're doing well in here, so I'm not gonna One of our ideas was that if we had some sort of bouquet pickup, this could be a location where people could come in, drive up, come up the steps, come in here, and we've got, it's sort of locked. So there's the front door, which has the most beautiful stained glass window on it. But this is locked from the inside, so people couldn't come in here, but they could come in here, and these sliding glass windows. The only issue is like the stairs are a little bit like, a little questionable. But we could put something in here like a bench of some kind and then have like a display of flowers. Like that is an idea that we've had. We've had so many ideas, but this is something that we've been bouncing around. We're still working through some things. But how can you tell I'm a gardener when I have containers and containers and I just can't bear to part with them, even if they're cracked, because it's like, well, I could use them in the spring when I'm doing seedlings, right? So this is kind of like my project right now while everybody's napping and or away. Right now we're saving cornflowers. These are the dead cornflower heads. I'll show you the seeds in a bit. Hello, September. The time when I need to start cleaning up and taking out a lot of the dead plants. I've started with the sweet peas. The beans are already gone. The cucumbers are starting to go. My children have discovered the parsley patch. Now the cow came in and ate it all, and the parsley came back. And my children are sitting there, just eating it. And it's kind of wonderful. Today is takedown day, so I am cleaning up a lot of the pickle patch. They aren't really giving good cucumbers anymore, so we're getting rid of that, and we're getting rid of the marigolds before they seed everywhere, which I think they kind of already have. But there's something really satisfying about pulling up plants. It's just like any aggression you have, you just pull them up. My flower partner and I went to the nursery today, and it was pretty exciting. Planning for this space has begun. And at first, Megan really wanted to do a rainbow kind of a sorting of flowers. So if someone says, hey, do you have pink flowers? We could be like, yeah, we have a massive patch of pink. Or if they say, hey, do you have a bunch of yellow? We could say, well, we don't have that much yellow, but we do have a lot of whatever, right? So it's a visual representation of what we might have. What I think I've decided we can group things as instead are group all of the warm colors together. So the reds, the pinks, the oranges, the yellows, and then all of the whites all together, and then the blues and the purples, and the greens eventually, all of the filler and stuff would be all kind of together. My want is that at the entrance, you walk in, and all of this here will be herbs and those fragrant smelling plants. So your lavenders and your rosemaries and your sage and maybe thyme, I don't know. But I want to have those kinds of things all kind of grouped together, and I think that would be absolutely magical. Preparing to put on the poly before it gets too rainy, and you can see the weeds have already just started to take over. That's okay, we have the plan. There's a tarp already down there. And I've just flagged off all the different sections, and just to make it confusing for myself, I made 9 sections instead of the 8 that I have in the other one. Sorry. September is the time of new routines, winding down the summer activities, gardening, and spending more time with loved ones. I've been savoring the last of my brilliant late blooming garden and giving away bouquets collected with love. Goodbye, summer.